Hello, everyone. This is Team BruWins. We're a team of 4 first-year undergraduates. So let's get into it.
So after thinking a lot about the data we have and what type of questions we could ask, we all agreed upon this question, which is, do states' laws and arrests make a difference on the drug use that goes on in each of these states?
So for our methodology, we used a deep neural net. We tried to predict, given a person's drug use history, whether or not they lived in a state where marijuana was legal or not, and if it was legal, was it medically legal or was it recreationally legal? And so for this, we used external data sets to compile data on marijuana legalization laws, as well as drug arrest rates in each state in order to measure how strictly they enforce their drug laws. And then we tried to predict which type of state a respondent would live in based on their drug use in order to see if the model issued different predictions for different levels of drug use, meaning like if a respondent used more drugs or fewer drugs, whether or not it would change which type of state it would predict that they lived in. And we used the 2018 and 2019 US data.
So some external data that we tried to pull in was the marijuana laws based on the legalization. And what we did was we took this 2018 midterm report based on the National Conference of State Legislators, and we wanted to rank the states on the legalization levels, 1 being not legal at all, and 4 being legalization of recreational and medical marijuana. So with that, we wanted to connect it to whether there would be more people using harder drugs. And we also wanted to do the same thing with drug arrest laws. So what we did was we took the FBI Uniform Crime Reporting Program. What they do is they publish arrests by states. So what we did was we took the 2018 report and we divided the number of drug arrests by the number of total arrests. We got a percentage of drug arrests, and what we did was we ranked those on a scale of 1 to 51, and we want to see which states were more strict on making drug arrests, which states were least strict on making drug arrests, and we want to see if a state was more strict, would they have users that take harder drugs more often?
So at the end, the conclusion that we came to was that the legality of marijuana in a particular state doesn't affect the drug use in that state. So that even though that some states have marijuana legal laws and some are illegal, there's no statistical difference between the drug use in each of these states.
So we can look at the data. Oh, the screen sharing is disabled. If we can quickly enable
I just enabled it.
Thank you. So looking at the data, basically in our model, we passed through just 10 examples, vectors, which represent people. And basically, you can see here, based on the drugs that they use, as we just said, it didn't matter what drugs they used, the model outputted the same number. That number is representative of the states. So as you can see, all 10 outputted the number 3. And now we can see what that number means. If we look at the map here, based on our external data, we basically categorize each state based on the legality. And 3 here shows the states in the darkest green. And that's representative of states where marijuana is legalized, recreational use of marijuana is legalized. So basically the states with the loosest marijuana laws, the people that we put through the model are all predicted to be in these states.
So some difficulties that we came across was the model constraint for the police arrest data. As we saw, we were able to get the marijuana one working, but the police arrest data was not able to correctly work with our neural network. And also the data extrapolation of just finding the arrest versus the arrest for drug use versus total number of arrests was sort of off, and we sort of had to, it was a good idea, but it was hard in execution. And I think that's something, if we had more time, that's something we totally would have gone for. Also, the availability of data and our team being across the country was a lot of the difficulties that we came across. So thank you guys for watching. This is an amazing DataFest, although it was virtual. We really enjoyed it. Thank you guys.